Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Now, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue are games. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But in all seriousness, they are games, and games do get reviewed, sometimes on places like Google. And the Gen 1 Pokemon games are pretty old at this point. Like, they're almost 3 decades old. Yet people still review them. And it amazes me because I just forget that there are people who haven't played the Gen 1 Pokemon games yet. Or that there are people that feel the need to write a review for a game that is almost 3 decades old. But regardless, today we're going to be taking a look at some of these reviews for Pokemon Red and Blue. But real quick, before we get this video started, in case it's not obvious, please don't go out of your way to harass any of these people, or any people in general for that matter. We're just here for some lighthearted fun. No one should be harassed for their opinions, even if you may disagree with those opinions. Also, if at any point you find you're enjoying yourself, leave a like and subscribe. Not only would it help out the channel, but I would also really appreciate it. From Mike Young. Ew, this game is horrible with an already abysmal Gen 1er fan base. The gameplay is broken even by RPG standards from the 1990s, and it's already a true fact. Well, Mike, I gotta be honest with you here. Facts are already true, so that statement is a bit redundant. The graphics look like someone who just failed art class in elementary school, and it made Baldi's education game look aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. Mr. Mike here is talking about this game, in case you're unaware. And, no, I mean, sure, the Gen 1 Pokemon games aren't very colorful, but they don't give me nightmares. Moves had a random chance of failing, so many glitches. Not even Team Rocket can fix all of these enjoyment-depriving glitches like the infamous glitch Pokemon. I have many nightmares about this generation, and I've undergone quite a few psychiatric assessments relating to this generation of Pokemon, about once per 30 days. But this 4-bit mess keeps me from enjoying of what was the popular franchises of the 90s. Okay, so obviously Mike here is exaggerating, or at least I hope so. Secondly, your sentence has structuring worse than that of the Eiffel... God damn it, not the Eiffel Tower. Secondly, your sentence has structuring worse than that of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There were less than a few cute Pokemon, and future generations got us what we truly deserved. More cute Pokemon, and better graphics and gameplay. I'll agree with him there. Generation 1 Pokemon sprites don't look the best, and there's not a whole lot of content, but it's a nice little game, and it was pretty innovative for the time. So it gets a little bit of a pass, but it's not something that can be completely overlooked. It also has no story, no character development, no cutscenes, nada. Well, yes, as I mentioned, lacking content. As for the strangest, deranged sprite art for certain Pokemon, it made my depression even worse compared to horrible games I've seen, like Superman 64. No, I'm gonna make a bit of a bold claim here, but I don't think the Pokemon Generation 1 games are as bad as Superman 64, Spider-Man on Game Boy, Action 52 for NES, etc. And let's not forget that the difficulty of this game simply rivals with the likes of Zelda 2, Adventure of Link for NES. I mean, this was made a year ago. I don't know if this person has played any of the other Pokemon games, especially the ones after Generation 5. Looking at you, X and Y. But definitely not. I don't know. The Generation 1 games they're not super difficult, but there's a decent amount of challenge. I guess, though, that can depend on how much you level your team or not, or what kind of Pokemon you have. But it's certainly not ridiculously easy. You might be better off with the cutest electric rodents like Pichu. Hold up one second. Just Pokemon Red and Blue. Mike, I don't know if you know this, but we're talking, you're reviewing Pokemon Red and Blue here. Pichu doesn't exist till Generation 2, and having preferences of these cutest rodents over that ugly Pika of a yellow rat. Whoa there, Mike. You have said some very controversial stuff here. That one. Wait, you've taken it too far, Mike. I don't know if I can forgive this. Now I am spiraling into a state of crippling depression. I recommend other great generations of 2 through 6. Sorry. If you're looking for better options or creativity with your dream team, like a team full of fairy type Pokemon. Generations 2 through 6. So I'm just baffled that he would put Generation 6 in there. Like, I can't believe that he would talk about how Generation 1's difficulty is way too easy, and then add Generation 6 in there as a great generation. Sure, it's X and Y, honestly, they're not bad games. They're okay at the very least. But Generation 6 is, I think objectively speaking, significantly more easy than Generation 1. Otherwise, stay away from these games as far as possible because this game slipped past quality assurance testing. If you're also looking for the best possible experiences as a trainer or an elitist, try Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Emerald's pretty good and Pokemon Platinum's pretty good, but I think this dude just has... What happened? There's no way he's not over-exaggerating to just try to trigger people, especially the Gen 1ers. But if he's not over-exaggerating on purpose, I am so... What happened to you? Did someone just take a truckload of Pokemon Red and Blue cartridges and just bury you in them? Did they just dump them on your head and give you severe brain damage? What happened? I am so sorry that something happened this bad to make you feel like this. Don't get me wrong, Pokemon Red and Blue aren't fantastic games by any means. They have their flaws, but they're not this bad. Moving on. So there are a few people who have some things to say about Mr. Mike here. Dayton Ernest. Well, Mike, the reviewer behind me, can go die in a hole of plagued internet code for all I care. Okay, I think that's taking it a bit far. I think I'm not really sure what dying in a hole of plagued internet code is like, but I think that's a bit harsh. Like it's just an opinion. It's not that big of a deal. This was the best game I have played in a long time. While the graphics were fine in the 90s, they aren't the best compared to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I don't know. If you want to take the community's opinions into things, I think some people would argue that Generation 1's graphics are better than Sword and Shield's. Maybe jokingly, maybe actually. I personally don't think so, but... Oh god, the trees. Great gameplay though, and a little bit more challenging than today's games. 6 out of 5 stars. Well, Mr. Ernest, I'm glad you can find enjoyment in these games, because when I play through them, I can only play through Pokemon Yellow because I love having Pikachu walk behind me. But if I really wanted to play through Kanto, I'd just play like Fire Red or Leaf Green, or even Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. Then we have Daniel Jones, student. Mike Young, saying that the game has horrible graphics is like saying that the cavemen are stupid for not being able to use electricity. And if it's too hard, then boo-hoo. Just get good. Just get good. I mean, he's got a point. Just play the game. Wait, didn't he say it's too easy? Am I missing something here? And let's not forget that the difficulty of this game simply rivals with the likes of Zelda 2, Adventure of Link for NES. Am I missing? Hold on. Pardon my ignorance. I'm not a big fan of Zelda. I'm not a fan of Zelda at all. Sorry to disappoint any Zelda fans. They're just not my types of games. I don't think they're bad games particularly, but I've just never found any enjoyment in them personally. But yeah, apparently Zelda 2 is known for being relatively difficult. Which, still, do you not want the games to be difficult? I don't know. Like, again, it's really not that difficult, but it's not particularly easy either, like I said before. And so what if the Pokemon is not cute enough? So what? You play this game to collect them and to appreciate the character models, not to only catch the cute ones. Is that not contradictory? You play this game to collect them and to appreciate the character models. Isn't thinking they're cute appreciating them? Mike can't appreciate the character models if none of them are cute. Glitches are a part of a game. There is not a game without glitches. That just can't happen. Well, you're not wrong, but the amount of glitches in the Gen 1 Pokemon games is just way above what should be acceptable. Focus energy literally does the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Instead of boosting your crit chance, it decreases your crit chance. And you don't have to do anything to get that kind of manipulation. You just use focus energy, and your crit chance is decreased. It's just naturally in the game. You, my friend, are stupid, and if anyone wants to know my review, this game is amazing. You must play it. Some people just get so mad over other people's opinions, and like, you're not the one who made the game. Why are you so personally offended? Calm down, dude. Oh, Riley Gent rated this game a 1 star. Let's see what this person has to say. I rated this a 1 star because I wanted people to see it. Well, that's misleading. To anybody who says the graphics are horrible, it was 1996. What do you expect for graphics? It was the Game Boy. It didn't have the capabilities to make the graphics much better. I personally think the game is and will also... What? I personally think the game is and always will be awesome. Well, Riley, this also came out in 1996, and it looks much more appealing than this. Am I wrong? Sure, it was a handheld and it was a lot more limited than something like the Nintendo 64, but it's the art. It's the art style that makes things look appealing, not the hardware. Oh, it looks like someone copy-pasted something from Wikipedia. I think this is over a creepypasta. I vaguely remember this from when I was like 10 years old or something. You're here. I'm trapped. And I'm lonely. So very lonely. Won't you join me? Buried alive model when the player encounters him. Buried alive appears to be a rotting human corpse with 2 white hands, a muck, and a gangar. Defeating Buried Alive is nearly impossible as he says, fresh meat, and a scene in which he devours the player and drags Hum under his grave. Okay, so it seems that this person is not aware that you can copy-paste text from a website. So I guess they just had it open on their phone or something, I don't know, and they just typed it word for word, this like little this little sentence. I don't know what this has to do with Red and Blue specifically. Maybe he's just having a little bit of fun. Nothing wrong with that. At least he's not complaining about the graphics. Here we have another comment about Mike Young by Julian Jones. This is just to roast Mike Young. First, you are acting like a Karen. The developers worked hard on this game, and I love it to the very heart. I like the protagonist. Red, the best protagonist in the entire series, and it introduced more iconic characters like Pikachu, and it started Pokemon. You Karen named Mike Young. You probably just like Hot Topic. Periods, dude. Periods, commas, semicolons. Use them. I mean, you used parentheses, so good job there, I guess, but Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try to figure out what's actually going on here. Okay, so obviously he's mad at Mike Young. First, you're acting like a Karen. No, see, a Karen probably wouldn't write a Google review. They would just immediately... the developers worked hard on this game. Okay, well, that... Biomutant, for example, I'm sure the developers put a lot of time into that, but it's not a great game. It's okay. It's not horrible. You know, and I'm sure they were passionate about it, but that doesn't mean there's no mistakes in it. That doesn't mean it's flawless. And I love it to the very heart. Okay. That's nothing wrong with liking a game. Perfectly fine. I like the protagonist Red, the best protagonist in the entire series. I don't know, all the Pokemon protagonists are pretty much just the same to me. Red's cool, I guess. And it introduced more iconic characters like Pikachu. Yeah. Well, yeah, most people know about Gen 1 Pokemon because Generation 1 has been around for the longest, so yeah, those ones are going to be a bit more iconic than something like Noibat, for example. And it started Pokemon. You Karen named Mike Young. You probably just like Hot Topic. I resent that statement. Like, 98% of my shirts are from Hot Topic, so, you know, get a little bit personal there. You know what, just for that, unhelpful. I was 13 or so when this came out, and doing some research just now from boredom, Ash Ketchum was 10 years, 10 months, and 10 days old when he started his journey. Take the fact that the anime came out on April 1st, it would have put his birthday at May 22nd, 1986. I'm barely a year older than him. Maybe in 1997 you would have been barely a year older than him, but unless you just don't age like Ash Ketchum doesn't, I think you're definitely a lot more than just a year older than him. Also, what does this have to do with red and blue? This is about the anime. What does this have to? Okay, thanks. I guess that's a cool fact. Getting helpful, very helpful. I thank you. I definitely wanted to know your age. Thanks. Game very fun despite the many glitches in it. Some of you peeps choosing Charmander as starter is just kind of like a hard mode, and I beat the game with it, so it doesn't affect review. Back to review. However, there are Gen 1ers out there who try to spit out disgusting lies. Is Gen 1er spelled, like, is this really how it's spelled? Okay, so apparently yes, this is actually how it's spelled. I was unaware of this, so, I guess I actually did learn something from these reviews. So thanks, Gary Chin and, what was his name? Mike Young. Horrible graphics. That is just one of the insults I can come up for this game. It is so bad now, it may have been good in the 90s. Nah, it still wasn't that great in the 90s, if we're just talking about the sprites anyways. But now it's just plain horrible. It looks like a kindergarten student drew it. It's a pretty good story, but it's a pretty good story. Honestly, Generation 1's story is so bland that I forget sometimes that it even has a story. But the graphics, horrible. They should remake this game for the 21st century, then it may be a little bit better. This game almost ruins Pokemon altogether. Thank you, Makana, but if you're only upset about the graphics, why did you give it 1 star? You know, that's worthy of at least 1.5 stars. So, of course, after reading all these other people's opinions, I couldn't just leave my opinion undocumented. So now I present to you Pikachu Clone's official review of Pokemon Red and Blue. When I first got Pokemon Red for my birthday during the Great United States Depression of 1433 BC, I thought it looked great on my stone tablet, but these days the graphics rival the likes of cave paintings. Sometimes I insert the Pokemon Red cartridge into my toaster, thinking I'm playing the greatest game of all time. Link, the Faces of Evil, only to be shocked and horrified by the true sight. Fat Pikachu. There's 151 creatures to be obtained in total, but one is under a truck. I'm not sure why anyone would want to run over this cute little creature, but the game is fun for its time, has a decent amount of challenge compared to today's main Pokemon titles, and I would play it 10 times over if I could. The story is solid, the game is innovative, and the character designs are flawless. I highly recommend this game, and so does Game Freak. By Pikachu Clone. 1 star. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it from me. I had a lot of fun doing this. I would love to do it again sometime if you guys like this. So if you did like it, be sure to leave a like to let me know. Comment, tell me your thoughts. Also, subscribe if you want more content similar to this in the future. I'm Brian, aka Pikachu Clone, and hopefully, I'll see you around.